What is going on, YouTube? Happy Tuesday to all you guys. Beautiful day where I'm at. Sun shining, not too hot. Beautiful day. But let me get into this, guys. I have something. Okay, so I've been talking about the How to Win Friends and Influence Others. Right? I've been talking about that book. Great book. You know, Dale Carnegie. Now, I was recommended another book by one of my subscribers, and I want to thank you for doing that. And you know who you are. This book is called The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy. I've only made it to like the 3rd chapter. But right now, from reading that book, I can definitely tell there's 2 words that stops a person from being successful. But before I get into those 2 words, I want to ask you guys a couple questions. Have you guys ever asked yourself a question? And this is something I do a lot too. How is it that a guy I went to school with, stayed around the block from, you know, our parents had the same values. How is it that he's more successful than I am? You know, how is it that a guy that can be half your age, right, be a millionaire, and you are barely scraping by? How is it that you can go into a gym and see a guy with like a 24-pack of abs, or a lady that just has muscles that are just popping out of the body, and you're working out, you're doing some of the same or similar exercises? How is it that they're fit and you're not? These are a lot of questions we ask ourselves on a daily. Like, what a habit I do is, as soon as I see something about a millionaire, or I see a famous guy or somebody who's really successful and has did it, the first thing I look at is their age. And the reason why I look at their age is because I start asking myself, saying this, well, I'm 30-something years old, so they're 40, so I still got a little time. And it's sickening. But I see that there's only 2 words that separate you from success. And I'm about to give you those 2 words right now. Self-discipline. And some of you guys are like, what do you mean self-discipline? I have self-discipline. Do you have self-discipline? Think about it. Every year, and it's going to happen in January too, and I've talked about this before, there will always be people that will say, hey, my New Year's resolution is to lose weight. And we all know that the average resolution lasts about 2 weeks. I think either 2 weeks or 16 days. But why is it that they stop? It's because they don't have self-discipline. So what did I do? I wrote down what was self-discipline according to the author, with a couple of my words in here. It's the ability to do what you know you should be doing, whether you feel like it or not. I'm going to repeat it one more time. The ability to do what you know you should be doing, whether you feel like it or not. Whether you feel like you have a cold, whether it's snowing outside, no matter what it is, you're able to do it. Like out here in South Dakota, man, it gets cold. You know, and I'm trying to set up a system where I don't have to be here in the winters, you know, anymore. But when I was here in the winter, I used to see people would bundle up in jackets, right? And run. In snow. Run. And I'm just like, you know, we have people that it's a sunny day outside and they don't want to run. But here's a person that runs when it's cold and everything's going against them, and it's so, you can't even breathe right. You know, everything is just against you, but yet you still have the motivation to go out there and do it. You know, and that's it. From the author's point of view, the only reason why you have successful people and people who are not is because of self-discipline. They do the things when no one's watching. You know, they do the things like, he talks about too, where he says you have to ask yourself certain questions. What is it that people who are people that I'm trying to imitate, what is it that they're doing You have to mimic that behavior and do that behavior over and over and over and over again until it becomes a habit for you. You know, I know that habits are easy to do, but you have to tell yourself you have to be doing good habits. You know, and it's just so amazing. It's so simple, but yet it's so amazing, but it doesn't come easy. Self-discipline is something that you have to battle every day. And when he said it, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Every day it's a fight. You want to lay in a bed a little bit longer. You don't want to get up and go to the gym and get up and read or anything, but you make yourself saying, look, because another thing he said too that was kind of interesting is that people who are successful don't look for short-term gains. They look long-term. They don't say, they look at it like this. I don't want to do this act right here because that act can definitely ruin my long-term goal. Well, some people are like, I want to get rich fast as heck. But it takes time. It takes hard work. It takes determination. It takes you to sacrifice and be able to learn what the rich are doing. It takes time. But you have to ask yourself, and I have to ask myself, are you willing to put in the work to make it happen? That's it. It's not about the education, not about things, not about other factors. It's not about those things. It's about, are you willing to put in the work that will make it happen? And my answer to that question is yes. It's definitely some things that I have to work on to become more disciplined at that will probably help me achieve my goal faster. So guys, here's another thing too. Guys, you gotta read. You gotta learn something on a daily. By learning, you change. And God knows I'm trying to smother myself with just knowledge so I can change. You know, and that's what I think that is the difference too. You have to put yourself in a learning environment. If you don't have any mentors, whatever, you know what? You can go to the bookstore and find millions of mentors. You don't need them to come to your doorstep. You can read about them. You know? So yeah, I just want to hear your questions and comments on this, guys. What do you guys feel about this as far as yourself? And until next time, guys, signing off.